Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. So, one of the biggest things in tech to come out of the last quarter of 2022 is, well, a certain social media site kind of tanking there for a bit. And that led a lot of people to realize what they do with social media. And that, well, and maybe we should change our perspective when it comes to social media and our relationship with it. Another big thing that sort of came out of that discussion was the return of personal blogs and personal websites. There are more and more people that are looking at creating their own personal website. In fact, I went ahead and did that myself. And I really think it's something that you should consider this year, even if you're not a tech person. Really, the biggest thing that you're going to see here in this video is that with a personal website, you own your own content. And the good news is that creating your own personal website is not that hard. In fact, all you really need is to figure out what platform you're going to use and pick out a domain name and then a web host and then just create your website. But we'll get to that in a minute. Now let's talk about why you should create your own personal website. Well, one of the biggest reasons is that we have seen a lot of social media companies come and go. It's not just Twitter last year. Do you remember MySpace? Twitter wasn't the first social media company to have a really big blip or go under, and it certainly won't be the last. Social media websites aren't forever, but personal websites are, or at least they're more permanent than social media sites. No matter what happens with the tech landscape, your website will stay up and you can interact with other people. Also, a personal website is your digital home. Yeah, you can be on Twitter, Facebook, Mastodon, Tumblr, any of these social media sites, but your personal website is going to be your home. That's where you can put all of your photos, and then you can post links to that gallery on your social media profiles. Also, and this is something I've found out with my own personal website, is that you can also really tell stories with the photos that go along with them. You can craft a narrative. Like, for example, I went on a vacation with my family this past year to New Mexico, and I basically used that space to not only show the images that I had, but also tell the story of our journey, which was quite interesting. Having your own personal website allows you to do a lot more things. And another big thing is that you control everything. You don't have to be constrained to what a Facebook profile looks like, or a Twitter profile, or a Mastodon profile, or even a YouTube channel. You can choose your own design. You can choose what content you want to put in there. You can choose all the photos you want. Really, with your own personal website, the sky is the limit with what you can do with it. And heck, if you start a hobby and you have a WordPress website for your personal website, you can turn that into an online store and, make a few extra bucks. You're not in a box that someone else created. And finally, that brings me to my last point, and that is that you own your content with your personal website. I think this is the biggest thing in this discussion about personal websites and social media that we've had in the last quarter of 2022. Owning your own content is key. When you upload photos to Facebook and, well, let's say Facebook goes under tomorrow and you don't have a backup of those photos are gone. Period. You're not getting them back. But if you have your own website and you have your photos there, and you have a backup system in place and you're taking off-site backups like you should, then if your web host goes down, well, you can simply take that backup that you have and go to another web host, point a domain there, and you're back online. It's not a super quick process, to be quite honest, but it is possible, and it's not possible if a social media site goes down overnight. And I think that's the biggest thing that really everyone should be knowledgeable of when it comes to what they put online. Owning your own content is extremely crucial. And if you get into more advanced techniques and start to learn more about SEO or search engine optimization, then you can really actually probably get found easier in Google searches than you could with any of the social media sites. So at the end of the day, creating a personal website for yourself gives you so much more power than you ever had with any of the social media platforms. So now let's briefly walk through how you can create a personal website for yourself. I've gone ahead and actually created a more detailed step-by-step instruction down on my freelance website. You can go check that out down in the description below. That will really help you sort of walk you through every single step that you need to take in this process. But really, here's the high-level overview. First, you're going to need to select what platform you're going to use for your personal website. That could be WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, even if you want to sell online, whatever. I personally would go with WordPress. I use WordPress a lot, as you can kind of tell with my WordCamp shirt here. But really, it's an open source CMS, content management system, and it really allows you to own your content. If you use Wix or Squarespace, those are great options. However, again, you run into that same issue where if they go under overnight, and you don't have any backups, which they're kind of hard to take with those, then you're going to be starting from square one again. With WordPress, you can take backups of the files and database just in case your web host goes under. If you do choose WordPress or any of the open source CMSs like Drupal or Joomla, then you will need to purchase your own domain name as well as web hosting. Generally, you can find a domain name for under 20 bucks. The personal website I have, jacobmartella.me, I got for about $15. In web hosting, generally you can find some good web hosting just for a personal website at around $10 a month. Mainly with SiteGround or Pressable. I recently wrote a blog post, again, on my freelance website that talks more about web hosting. You can find that down in the description below as well. Then once you get going, you'll need to select the design, and you'll just need to make sure A, that it works, B, that it's accessible, and C, that you like it and that it fits what you want to do. And then with a lot of other platforms, you can add in extensions or plugins for SEO, analytics, contact forms, whatever. And then you just need to add in your content and start blogging and start adding photos to your website. Really, what you do with your personal website is up to you. And that's the great part about personal websites. So this year, I challenge you to at least look into creating a personal website for yourself. Own your own content, control what you want people to see, and just have fun with it. Meanwhile, if you want to see more videos on WordPress or web development, be sure to hit the subscribe button and to ring the bell for notifications. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.